Here at Tackle, we love celebrating our customers and our customers' accomplishments. I hope that you enjoy learning about our Marketplace Masters Awards and seeing all of the customers that we recognized for everything that they have achieved. Next, I'm really excited for the session. Then I'd like to introduce Dylan Woods, co-founder and CTO at Tackle, as well as Nathan Bobbin, VP of Product here at Tackle, and they'll be discussing how Tackle helps your cloud GTM team thrive. Turn it over to you both.
Thanks so much, Rebecca. So today we're gonna start by talking a little bit about the way that Nathan and I think about Tackle's product, the goals that we're trying to achieve, and the objectives that we're trying to reach. Then we're gonna do a deep dive into the roadmap itself for the remainder of this year, so that you'll be able to see new features that we're building in the product, when we expect to launch those, and the benefits that we think you can get. So to start, I want to go through a few of the principles that Nathan and I use when building our roadmap. First of all, the mission statement of Tackle, since we founded in 2016, is to enable software companies to generate and scale revenue through the cloud. That's what we try to. That's what we try to do. We want to help sellers sell more software digitally through these cloud marketplaces. So we want to build lots and lots of features that make that possible, that make it easier for your sales teams to create private offers, or that make it simpler for you to manage those offers once they've been created. We don't want our ISVs to have to build their own software to manage a marketplace. We want to present them with a solution that to begin with is a no-code solution, but then offers them developer opportunities over time so that they can start to integrate with our product and start to build up a practice internally around cloud marketplaces. Second, at Tackle, we want to expedite time to value for our customers. This really means listing. We want to make it really easy for you to get listed in a cloud marketplace and to get to a point where your product is transactable. Now, a lot of people think of Tackle as a listing company, so I really want to reiterate that this is just one of the things that we do to help you get started. It's why a lot of companies come to Tackle. It's why they start working with us, so that they can get their products or their offerings up and running in those cloud marketplaces quickly. And over time we want to make that easier and easier and easier, so you don't have to go through a lot of pain when you're trying to configure your cloud provider account to allow access for your listing. We want to make that push button easy inside Tackle, so that you can do it in a very repeatable way. And that brings us to our next point, which is to continue to expand our multi-marketplace functionality. We don't want to just get your product listed once in one marketplace, because your product needs to be listed where buyers want to buy. And so that is going to be across all of the viable cloud marketplaces that exist. So we want to make it easy for you to get up and running initially, and then we want to make it as easy as flipping a switch to turn on that exact same listing across other marketplaces. Last year, we were really proud to announce our support for the IBM Red Hat Marketplace. That was the fourth marketplace that we support, in addition to AWS, Azure, and GCP. We plan to continue to add additional support for more cloud marketplaces as we see buyer demand. So we're constantly in touch with our customer base, as well as the buyer community, to find out where they want to buy and what is driving that buyer behavior. When we see a significant signal that shows us that another marketplace is needed, then we have built out our system and architected it in such a way that it's easy for us to add those additional marketplaces. In addition to just additional cloud provider marketplaces, we also look at vertical app marketplaces. So maybe there's a part of your product that you wanted to list in Salesforce App Exchange, or maybe you want to get your product in an Atlassian marketplace or a Snowflake data marketplace. We want to make that easy too. So those are all things that we're thinking about expanding to in the future, and we believe that the right pace is to add about one marketplace per year. Again, as our buyers and sellers tell us that that's what they need. We want to make sure that functionally we have parity across all of those different marketplaces, so that you have the exact same experience as a seller. When you're creating a private offer, you shouldn't have to do something different if you're doing that in Azure versus AWS. We want to make that transition seamless, so that your team doesn't have to learn multiple interfaces and multiple ways of accomplishing the exact same thing. The fourth pillar that we think about in our marketplace is dovetailing with existing operations. So before you're in marketplace, you're probably using tools like Salesforce for creating opportunities and tracking them through close. Maybe you're using something like a NetSuite to reconcile revenue and to make sure that after those orders have closed, that that all the money is getting to where it needs to be. And so we want to integrate our processes with those systems instead of replacing them. We want to use the infrastructure that you've already built and the operations that you've already built. And so what you can expect to see from us in the future are additional connections to those things. Coming first would be a Salesforce connector. We want to make it possible for you not just to integrate Salesforce with Marketplace, but to integrate it with all of the full co-sell capabilities that these cloud providers have. So for AWS, that means ACE. For Microsoft, that means Partner Center. You shouldn't have to worry about the difference between a cloud provider's marketplace system and their co-sell system. We want to integrate those together and again make them feel like the exact same system as you're going through the selling motion. We don't want your sellers to have to learn a new process. We want them to be able to take an opportunity in Salesforce, push that into a co-sell system, and then when they're ready, to turn that into a private offer that's pushed out and accepted by a buyer. We will continue to add support for additional third-party systems. We are building out support for an iPaaS, an integration platform as a service, so that we would even give customers the ability to build out their own integrations. If you have in-house tools that you've built, or if you have systems internally that you need to connect to, we want to make that possible. So those are the pillars that we think about. Whenever we're considering a new feature, we try to find out which of these it maps to. And if it doesn't map to one, then we really ask ourselves, why are we doing this? Is this something that we really want to do? Now, next, I'm going to turn it over to Nathan. He's going to do a deep dive into our roadmap to show you what to expect over the next few quarters.
Hey, thanks, Dylan. Appreciate the setup here. I'm going to talk about three key initiatives that we're looking forward to bringing to market, starting with expanding our product support beyond SaaS. Starting with machine images, we'll have initial support for Amazon machine images this summer, with support for Microsoft virtual machines shortly thereafter. This has been a really common request from our customers. We know SaaS is the future, but a lot of our customers are selling software that still runs as a machine image and is deployed as a machine image. We're excited to be able to support those products starting this summer. Secondly, supporting our customers and partners' co-sell efforts, another really popular request. We understand that co-sell is growing in importance as a sales motion. By late summer, early fall, we'll be supporting those efforts with the ability to register ACE opportunities with AWS from Tackle. Additionally, I'm going to talk more about this in a second, we will be providing this capability of sending ACE opportunities to AWS from a Salesforce application, allowing sales and alliances team members to push ACE registrations directly from Salesforce. We'll follow that shortly with support for Microsoft Partner Center. And I'll come back to the Salesforce app in a minute here, another deliverable that we're really excited about. Third, pipeline scoring. This is a new initiative, really exciting. I think sellers know that if they could understand which of the opportunities in their pipeline had the most promise, like which of these prospective buyers are the most likely to buy, they would know where to focus their selling efforts. And pipeline scoring is essentially that. We will be using the data that we have through understanding what's happening in the marketplace. We can score your opportunities and tell you which of the opportunities in your pipeline are most likely to buy through the cloud marketplace and which cloud marketplace they're most likely to buy on. Really valuable information that allow you to focus your sales efforts to where you will get the most return on those efforts. And then finally, we're continuing to improve all the core capabilities of Tackle today. We're focusing a lot on the experience of getting listed. I think a lot of people do think of Tackle as the listing company. Certainly, we do far more than that. I also hear that listings are getting commoditized, and I think getting listed is trending in that direction, but there's more to listings than getting listed. The experience of managing large sets of listings is still really cumbersome and a challenge. I think there's lots of room for innovation around listings. Getting listed is only part of the job, right? So ongoing management, making updates, price changes, this is something that I hear customers talk about all the time, can really be a significant pain point. So we're looking at how can we innovate. How can we make managing listings on an ongoing basis, especially for customers who are managing large sets of listings? How can we make that process easier? We're also constantly looking to improve our offer process. Your revenue is our North Star metric. The easier it is to send offers, the greater control and visibility you have over your offers, the more effective your marketplace go-to-market efforts are going to be. We're going to be delivering more automation around making and tracking offers across all marketplace partners, starting with automating the sending of offers on Microsoft, as you see on the launch plan. Let me get back to the Salesforce app, and then I think we'll look to chat for a few questions. The Salesforce app is effectively going to be a new Tackle interface. And so right now you can access the capabilities of Tackle through our APIs, or you can access it through our GUI. With the Salesforce app, we'll be exposing some of these capabilities through a Salesforce application, so you can access those functions directly within Salesforce, starting off with the ability to send offers directly from Salesforce, or the ability to send opportunity registrations for co-sell purposes. We will be following up over time with more functionality exposed through that Salesforce app, and really looking forward to allowing salespeople, alliances managers, partner managers to be able to use the application that they already spend most of their time in Salesforce, and be able to use that as a place to leverage the value of Tackle, sending offers and sending co-sell registrations. Let's have a look at the chat, Dylan, and see what we've got in terms of Q&A. And
yeah, absolutely. I think we're still waiting on a few questions, but anybody go ahead and put any questions in chat if you have any. If there's any features on here that maybe you expected to see that didn't show up, let us know. Maybe we can address those. If you want us to dive deeper into any of these areas, please let us know that as well. We'd be happy to give you more information.
On CPPO.
Sure.
Let me jump into that. So, I'm gonna struggle with this name. I apologize ahead of time. Sachin Saranathan. Will you have CPPO for Microsoft? So we are working on channel partners beyond, third-party channel partners beyond co-sell. The challenge is exactly what that will look like when it's done. So I don't have that on the roadmap today because we're still in the discovery process around channel partner support. So the goal is to have third-party channel partner program support this year. We will have more to come on that. Still a little bit early for me to put a specific date on it, but more to come in the future. It's absolutely a key area of focus for us.
Yeah, and I saw a question from Catherine about if the Salesforce app is similar to Workspan, and that's a great question. It is similar. I think that for me the main difference is the integration that we'll be able to provide between the co-sell systems and marketplace. Workspan's really focused on those co-sell systems, doing a great job of that. But what we want to do is to be able to take those opportunities when they're ready to close and turn them into marketplace private offers, so that now you have a direct way to go from co-sell to marketplace without having to duplicate your data into multiple systems. And then we'll be sending all that data back as well as those are updated, so that you'll be able to track all of that from Salesforce. We also want to take a real multi-cloud approach, so that we're focusing not just on one or two clouds, but on all of the clouds that Tackle works with. So thanks for that question, Catherine. But yes, they're similar, but different in a few important ways. Douglas asked if we could talk more about the machine image listing feature. So I definitely love to do that, because this is one where we're seeing a lot of demand from customers, and we've been spending a lot of time talking to the cloud providers about it. We think that it's really important that we move beyond our support for SaaS listings to provide support for AMIs in AWS, or machine images, or virtual machines over in the Microsoft side, because a lot of our customers have a hybrid offering, where maybe it's SaaS, but it comes with AMIs, or maybe they have a SaaS offering and an AMI offering, and they want Tackle to be able to manage all of those different ones. So what we want to provide is a secure way for you to get those images not only uploaded the first time, but for repeatability as you get new releases. We want to give you more information about which customers that you have running your AMIs are running which versions, and give you a way to reach out and access all of those customers when it is time for them to upgrade, or when you need to give them a maintenance notification. When something comes up and it's time for them to move from version 2.3 to 2.4, we want to make that a really simple process. So we think we can add a lot on top of what the cloud providers are offering to make those AMI type listings really seamless with your SaaS listings. A follow up there, ask about the time frame. We're hoping, we're going into an early access program in June. We hope to be GA shortly thereafter, hopefully before the end of the summer.
See a question around the enhanced notifications and what do we mean about enhanced notifications. So 4 different things that the team is working on there. The first is around buyer registration data. We understand that the pre-reg data is often not enough, and so enabling capture of registration data at offer acceptance and weaving that into notifications, providing more detail around end of term. So when a term is ending, understanding the details of why the term is ending. Was that cancellation? Was it contract expiration, etc.? We'll be adding purchase orders into email notifications. That's also been a request for quite a while. I'm excited to be bringing that to market. And then finally, ensuring that we have parity across our notifications across all channels and all marketplaces.
We had a question from Morris about how we can shorten the journey from free trial to full subscription. This is an area that's super interesting for us, because different cloud providers have tried to address the free trial problem in different ways, but I don't think any have been quite successful yet. So we're working on giving them a lot of feedback about what we would like to see. But the way that I really want to handle this problem is by getting closer to the buyer experience, because it's really the buyer who starts that free trial, and oftentimes that free trial is disconnected from marketplace. We want to bring that together. So make it perhaps simple to go from your website or from a web landing page where these buyers are finding out about your product or finding out about a free trial offering, to launching that free trial, to eventually closing the deal via a full marketplace subscription. And so we want to offer offer more functionality on the buyer side to make those touch points that we have with a buyer more inclusive of marketplace, so that they're thinking, when this 30-day trial is up, the next step is obviously a marketplace private offer. Now that brings us just about to time, Nathan. I think we only have a few seconds left, so I'd just like to close by saying thank you to everyone. If anybody does think of any additional questions later, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to talk to you about those questions, or figure out if there's more features we can get on the roadmap.
And I'll throw out the closing shot that we are taking applications for customers to participate in our early access program for the Salesforce.com app. So if you're interested in participating in that early access program, please reach out to your customer success representative.